Hey everyone, Willie Clark here. Welcome to episode 12 of the Not So Silent podcast, discussing the second episode of season 9 of Doctor Who. With me, as always, Ryane and Dillon. Say hello, everyone.
Hi.
Ciao.
Was that a good? I feel like I had a very NPR
Yeah.
Hello.
Today on NPR.
Today on NPR, we are going to discuss what happens when a madman with a box floats around and chases aliens with little toilet plunger hands.
Toilet plunger hands.
They have toilet plunger hands.
They're not little toilet plungers, though. They're pretty big.
They're pretty small.
I mean, well, first of all, that's what she said. But second of all, no, I think they're relatively big. They're normal plunger size.
I mean, well, yeah, they're normal plunger size, but they're not giant plungers.
Well, no, but they're not small either.
No, they're just. Well,
Oh my God.
This is important.
This is the most irrelevant part of the episode that we could be discussing.
This is the most relevant.
Yeah. This is
our most relevant tangent in a while.
This is the most important now. So we're going to spend the next, for those of you just joining us for the first time, we're going to spend the next 40 minutes discussing the importance of plungers.
Yes, actually.
In size in Doctor Who.
Did you know, actually, that those aren't toilet plungers? They're sink plungers. Toilet plungers are specially designed in order to fit the weird conical shape of the toilets. So they're actually often depicted incorrectly because of Tom and Jerry and all the old-style cartoons using them like that.
Are you making that up?
No, not really. Actually, they have those types of plungers aren't toilet plungers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, so for those of you who are just joining us, this will be full spoilers for all the episodes so far that have aired for the season and everything that has aired in past seasons, which, yeah, hasn't been that much so far. But in case you haven't watched the first 2 episodes of the season, we will talk about everything and anything that happened in them. So deal with it.
Or go watch them and then come back and listen.
Yeah, you can do that too. Or you can watch it while you listen if you really
want to be confused.
Yeah, if you want to do both things at the same time. That also could work.
So
what did everyone think of this episode?
I liked it a lot.
I liked it too. So of course.
Yeah,
there we go.
There's the buzzer.
I mean, I didn't.
What didn't you like about it?
No, I don't think there was anything that was horribly offensive to me as a person. There's nothing that I was like, ugh. I just didn't think it was a great resolution to last week's episode.
What?
I think is my thought.
Crazy person.
I mean, there was some okay, so obviously, we kind of had the cliffhanger with what was the Doctor going to do to little baby Davros. Which is that's an interesting thing. That whole idea is very interesting. If he has the and I mean we talked about this a little bit last week. If he had the ability to go back and stop Hitler, could he, or would he? And Davros.
There's literally an episode called "Let's Kill Hitler."
I know.
Well, I mean this is also the exact premise of Genesis of the Daleks too. Yeah,
but Jinxie was saying that this was one of the things that Moffat said he wanted to explore this season was the idea of could the Doctor, and stuff like that. But yeah, I know.
You're gonna hate this season then.
Not
if it's all the time stuff.
Well, it's not I didn't think this episode was horribly timey-wimey, except with the I guess except the basic premise of it.
Except for all of it.
No, most of it wasn't. The only thing that was really timey-wimey was him instilling compassion in Davros. Or not compassion, mercy.
Mercy.
Him
Which
instilling
isn't
mercy.
the first time we've heard a Dalek say mercy, though it is the first time I think the Doctor's heard a Dalek say mercy. Remember
so
when
Daleks
River Song walked up to the Daleks and said, check my thing again, she's like, mercy, that whole thing? And then in episode, was it 4 or 5 of the first season with the Dalek, that episode named Dalek with the Ninth Doctor, and the the Dalek was saying have pity, which is something that Davros said he didn't actually instill in the Daleks, so that was actually more of a weird... Anyway, they're very...
Well, yeah, I mean, that part was kind of cool. I thought having Clara inside the Dalek and seeing how... I don't know, it kind of... I don't want to say it gave the idea that Daleks have been misrepresented this whole time, but it definitely implied that they could have been being
emotional beings.
Yeah, being emotional beings.
Well,
and
they
that
are emotional. Hate is an emotion.
Yeah,
So.
that is true.
A more complex emotional being.
Excuse me, what is more complex than hate? What is more pure than hatred?
Well, no, they
love. Come on, guys.
They just have more. They just have more than one emotion.
Say, right?
They have because you're the girl. You're supposed to say
I'm
love.
supposed to say that, right?
No.
But I thought it was interesting that Clara could say these things, but that the Dalek machine essentially was translating them. And I thought that was that's a very interesting idea to me. I don't imagine that the Daleks have actually been running around saying like, Doctor, we want to be your friend. But there's definitely some implication there that they might be slightly more misunderstood than
when your entire language is based on hate, then what do you eventually become but hate? It's kind of like that whole what was that book where you could only speak in a certain type of way and then your thought patterns got that way. It's also a great way to mask any genetic defects in the Daleks too.
Variation at all.
Yeah, but so I mean, I guess was everyone else's understanding that the Mercy, that like Davros put Mercy in their genetic code because the Doctor showed him Mercy? Is that like?
I think that's the idea. Yeah.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
It seemed to me like it sort of leaked in. I didn't take it as intentional. Davros like putting Mercy in, just that. Because they all sort of were connected through Davros, and Davros himself has a little bit of mercy, it like leaked into the Daleks.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that could work with the
just leaked a little bit, just a little leak of.
With the leakage with the cords and stuff, because that was like here's the giant.
You mean the snakes?
Yeah, well, but some of them were actually cords. Some of them were actually cords, but
he plugged something into the chair.
Yeah.
Snakeheads. Oh, these look weird.
The only other chair in Skaro.
Yeah,
that was a pretty funny line.
Yeah.
So I've got some interesting things from this episode.
Okay, yeah, let's bring up because I feel I don't know. I got the impression watching this that this was another one that was full of stuff that people from Old Who would appreciate, but I was just left confused by.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that. It wasn't as Who heavy as or Who self-referential, whatever the heck it is. But when Davros and the Doctor were talking, I'll just say like a couple of the weird things. Like they were playing Genesis of the Daleks, or Genesis, I can never remember the name of it, in the background in that little TV thing. They were still playing it, which was really cool. It was showing the scientist in the background getting shot, and I thought that was really representative, because he then goes on to like say he has compassion for his own people, and like his whole purpose was keeping his people alive. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Do we have any type of idea how Davros, because was he human?
He was Khalid, which were two humanoid races, were the Khalids and the Thals, and they were fighting each other. And it's like tribalism, which is kind of the line of thought that Davros was going with when he was talking to the Doctor, like protect your own, and like he was asking, was I a good man for doing right by my people, even though he had all of his people exterminated.
Yeah. So
that was also sort of, to me, just a big callback to last season.
Yeah.
Because last season is the Doctor a good man?
Yeah. But okay, so is there any type of inclination how Davros became humanoid to Emperor Palpatine's humanoid?
Yes. He got exploded pretty much, or I forget what exactly happened to him, but he pretty much just was he was in the middle of a war zone, so casualty of war, and they were actually going to kill him because the colleges were supposed to be like the Nazi embodiment. So like genocide, xenophobia, like kill the cripples. Please excuse me, I don't believe these things. I'm just saying them. So that was sort of the thing, was that they actually wanted him to kill himself, and he didn't. And he actually created his whole entire life support. And his eyes were actually supposed to be scorched shut, which is really interesting that Moffat decided to not do that. I mean, sure, he could have grown eyes back or whatever, but that was an interesting thing I saw.
Okay, and then my second question, and this is probably a really stupid one, but why do the Daleks and the Time Lords even fight?
Because the Daleks want to exterminate everything, and the Time Lords kind of don't want to die. I thought that.
Okay.
I think that's
okay. No. Okay, so I understand that idea, but my impression of, and for some reason I just was really thinking about this throughout the episode because there was so much juxtaposition between the Time Lords and the Daleks themselves, and so the Time Lords, from what we've seen of them, are very stuffy and don't like interfering in things. So I'm curious what made them decide, okay, now we can interfere and now we can fight the Daleks. Or was that always just the Doctor's decision? Were all of the Time Lords at war with the Daleks, or was it just...
Oh, I think it was all of them, right? I think it was Gallifrey versus Skaro.
Yeah, I'd say Ryan's right on that front.
Okay.
But
and then we thought that the Daleks destroyed all of them, but then he brought them back. Blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm. And the Time Lords were really stuffy because they didn't care about the rest of the universe. They were just quabbled on their own infighting and all of that.
So the only reason that they got involved with the Daleks, I'm assuming, is because the Daleks were specifically trying to take out the Time Lords.
I think so. I can't remember what the exact backstory is.
Okay, yeah. And I'm not sure. I'm not honestly sure if we even know.
Well, I can't remember why they initially were at odds with each other than just the Doctor running into them.
Yeah. And then is there any? I think this is my last question. We don't know why the Doctor left, right? That's still that's not something that I'd know from old Who.
No one's. They've never revealed that.
Okay, I didn't think
they just say that he ran away.
That he ran away
because he was bored is the overlying concept, but no one's ever confirmed that.
But maybe something more sinister.
But maybe it was a prophecy.
Maybe it was just a bad bag of potato chips.
Screw this place.
I want to cheat.
I'm leaving. I'm gonna go to Earth.
They have
real junk food.
Yeah,
I guess I had always fish sticks and custard. I guess I always sort of assumed with the Time War that the Daleks were kind of trying to take over and exterminate everything in the universe, and the Time Lords were kind of the ones that were okay guys, someone needs to stop them. Let's go stop them.
I mean, Daleks can't, without Time Lord technology, Daleks can't travel through time, right?
They gained their own ability to travel through time, and then they had their own time control Dalek, which is a great, fun story in and of itself. Very strange.
Okay, because that was the other thing I was thinking about. Is I was well, maybe Daleks, that would make sense why the Time Lords had to get involved, because the Daleks found some way to fit it with time.
They did eventually, yes.
Also, okay, no, I have one last question. Is the Doctor the only Time Lord that doesn't believe in using weapons? Okay, so I guess let me ask this question the way I really meant it. Is what does it look like? What did it the war between the Daleks and the Time Lords? Was it just the Time Lords throwing sonic screwdrivers at the Daleks?
There's our next topic.
Yeah, that'll be a segue into our next topic.
But no, even the moment that he used, they have tons of technology. The blaster that War Doctor was using to shoot at the wall. They had tons of guns and weapons. That's
okay.
The Doctor's.
Okay,
even the Master or Missy had the funky ring.
Oh, and that vaporizer
this time.
Oh yeah, the funky ring. Yeah. But yeah, okay. So we got sonic sunglasses now.
I want them.
Is the internet blowing up? Because I feel ditching the screwdriver is just gonna make the internet blow up. But I've avoided the internet today. Because I try not to be influenced by anything else before I come talk. but
You're a better person than us, probably.
yeah, I don't.
It's already an autocomplete on Google.
Doctor Who fans
Doctor
out
Who fans
over
freak
Sonic
out
sunglasses.
over Sonic sunglasses, but Ray-Bans aren't really replacing the screwdriver. I mean, yeah, it was interesting because he hasn't had his own screwdriver yet. He's still been using
Matt Smith.
Smith's, yeah.
Yeah, this is a good replacement. I feel like the sunglasses are very Capaldi, rock star-y sort of deal.
Mm.
And when you think about it, because even with his costume choice, he wanted to choose something that's like relatively cheap, so that like little kids can play the Doctor and not have to buy $200 David Tennant trench coat suits and bow ties. So I mean, what better than just a pair of plastic sunglasses that they can run around going choo choo with their sunglasses? So I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah.
I guess on that front, but I don't feel like that. Like that's a lot of audience influence affecting the show. Like I really like when shows kind of reference their fans, but like changing things about the show for the fans like that, I'm not sure I like. I don't know. I like the screwdriver, so classic. I like it.
It's 50
Apparently Capaldi said in interviews that the sonic screwdriver is not gone.
Capaldi?
Capaldi.
Oh, I thought
Sonic sunglasses are an adjunct to the sonic screwdriver and have arrived because the Doctor liked Ray-Bans. So the screwdriver's not gone. Also, interestingly, I didn't know this. You probably knew this, Jinxie. That 6 and 7 didn't have screwdrivers. That it was destroyed with the 5th Doctor because the writers and everyone thought it was too much of a crutch because he could use it to get out of everything, which is true. Like, it is kind of a weird.
I'm actually watching through the 5th Doctor right now, so I haven't gotten to the 6th or 7th yet. So
well, might be, but yeah, interesting.
You've ruined it.
Yeah.
You've ruined all of Doctor Who for me. I quit the podcast.
Well, there you go. But yeah, I don't know. I mean,
okay, we're done. Bye.
I don't think I have such the strong attachment to a lot of these things that some of the diehards do, obviously. But I still think that the switch from a screwdriver to sunglasses is weird. Like, I'm not saying like that switching it is necessarily a bad idea. I'm just saying that I thought sunglasses is kind of taking an iconic, quirky thing for the show and then making it like lame. Like, sunglasses aren't cool anymore.
Bow ties are.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have a sonic bow tie. Like, come on.
That would have been awesome.
But if you insist.
Oh.
I don't know. The whole sonic stuff has intrigued me since the one. Who was it? Jack had sonic technology, right?
So I mean, sonic technology isn't Time Lordian. It's just.
No, I know. No, it's just the factory's gone, right?
Just what?
Wasn't that the whole idea, that the factory's gone?
I have no idea.
I seem to remember that from way.
I'm still distracted
way
by
back
Time
in the day.
Lordian instead of Gallifreyan.
Yeah, everyone knows it's Time Lordian.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Jeez, get this noob out of here.
Well, speaking of words, I'll take this off on a little bit of a tangent. The names of this episodes were actually pretty cool. Now that I kind of see it, and people have pointed it out to me because I'm not very good with the Englishes. But no, the Doctor or the Magician's Apprentice and the Witch's Familiar is really kind of cool because it's Clara. Like, they're both named Clara. Because Clara is both the magician, which is the Doctor's apprentice, and then the Witch's Familiar. Like, I don't know if you guys know this. I didn't know this. A familiar is what like follows the witch around. So it could be like the cat or like the bird or whatever.
Like the Golden Compass.
Yeah. So
yeah, they're little like daemons.
Yeah. So Clara was like Missy's accomplice for that episode. So it's the witch. Like Missy's the witch. So the Witch's Familiar and the Magician's Apprentice. I thought that was really cool because she spent half the episode with each.
Yeah, they're really cool episode titles. And yeah, the interesting thing is, even last week, if you look at these two episodes as a whole, the Doctor is definitely featured more prevalent in the back half. But Clara definitely spends more time with Missy. Like, way more time with Missy across both episodes. Which I think is just an interesting pairing. I'm still not really sure why she woke up hanging from the ceiling.
Because
That
Missy
didn't-
wanted to make sure that if she had to go hunt, that there'd be food. Otherwise, she'd have to kill Claire.
Because Missy's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Missy.
Cray.
I feel like people really started to love Missy last season, and she was warming on me, but she wasn't great, but she was great. She's just, they're having so much fun with her. So much fun with her. And I mean, yeah, I think it was one of you two actually on the podcast that called it, that said that the color was wrong when the Daleks zapped them.
That was Jinx.
I don't remember.
I'm not sure. I said that, but I also didn't know whether or not Ryane had also believed that or verified that.
Well, someone said that, which was, dead on.
Yeah, and it's really cool because they also showed the clip when they were like doing the teleporting things. They showed the clip from Death in Heaven that had her being shot at, because that's the exact way that she escaped. So now we actually know exactly how she escaped from getting shot by the Cybermen.
Oh, when Missy died the first time.
Yeah, she got shot and
Missy died. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just teleported her. Isn't that cool? I'm so happy.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. So the doctor. I mean, yeah. I guess the doctor knew, or at least thought that she wasn't dead. I'm a little. So I kind of liked last week. I don't remember. Oh, it was with Missy that they were. Clara was like, "How are you alive?" And Missy's like, "It doesn't matter." Blah 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 blah. Like,
just accept it.
Just accept it. And I mean, I guess I didn't pick up that they actually explained how it happened. So that makes me slightly happier. But they did that again this week with something with the doctor. I don't remember what it was.
He said just accept it.
He's like, "I'm the doctor."
Oh, the
like,
teacup.
Just accept it.
Oh, I loved it so much.
Oh, yeah. And like with small little things like that, I can let it slide. Like, it doesn't really matter where the doctor got the teacup from, unless that becomes.
I know how the doctor got the teacup, but that's besides the point.
How did the doctor get the teacup?
Well, obviously, so the doctor's known for carrying around things in his coat, so he had a teacup in his coat, and it's a Dalek. It's Davros's life support system. He's obviously got to have hot water there. You can't live without hot water, so he made himself a cup of tea.
Anyway, yeah. Anyways,
a cup of tea.
But anyways, if the whole how do I want to say it? If the whole idea behind the season is just accept it, we're not going to bother explaining things, that will frustrate me in the long run.
That's always been a Doctor Who thing, and I think that was Moffat just like giving into that trope very blatantly.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, there's a fine line before giving into it and poking fun at yourself and it working and just being like, we're not going to come up with answers because we don't know them. Like there's a distinction there that I think has to be respected for them to be able to poke fun at it and have it work. But Moffat's also never really cared much about that. So
is your face.
So is your butt's face.
That's so mean. All right. Ryan, do you have any topics to talk about? Because I can go off on multiple tangents.
No, I think the one I was going to bring up was the sunglasses.
Okay. So
she's already pre-ordered a pair.
Not. I don't even like them that much.
What?
I know. Well, that's my thing. Is how is Hot Topic going to sell Ray-Ban Sonic sunglasses? Like they clearly weren't thinking when they planned this out. But
this is going to sell.
What do you mean? How are they going to sell it? They're definitely just going to sell sunglasses.
Oh, yeah, that's lame.
That's not cool though.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
The doctor has to say sunglasses are cool, and then apparently everyone will be accepting of it. Until then.
Yeah, I guess.
But, okay.
But what were you going to say?
So,
what were you going to say, Jinx?
In my list of notes, I have crossed off almost half. So we've actually worked through relatively fast. I'm getting scared. One of the things, when the doctor...
We're actually staying on topic? What?
No. Quick, some segue. Lion King, Scar is...
I was singing Lion King
earlier. Yeah, we were singing
today.
Lion King earlier.
Oh, really? I sing it every day in the shower. Okay, anyway,
Take a shot.
When the doctor was yelling out in Davros's chair, which I thought was fantastic, especially with his deduction, like, conclusion, I'm going to have that chair. And he was screaming out, he was yelling, like, Clara better be safe and, like, bring her back to me alive. Did anyone else get the feeling that he wasn't actually talking to the Daleks? He was talking to the Master, or Missy, and making sure that Missy didn't actually kill her.
Oh.
Because that's the impression I got.
Yeah.
That's definitely what I got.
I agree with you halfway. I thought he was talking to Clara. I
thought he was talking to them both.
Yeah, it was actually my thought was he was talking to Clara. And that's so. I just want to throw that out there. If the Doctor ended up killing that Dalek and killing Clara, that would have been perhaps the greatest thing the show's ever done.
It would have been they really like having tragic endings with a lot of the companions, and how tragic would that have been?
That would have
holy crap!
It would have been great. It would have been so good, and early on, we know that something's going to happen to her this season. That would be so early for something to happen to her, but that's such an interesting way. And they definitely, they lingered on that idea for a while. I'm not sure, it's hard to say whether or not they actually toyed with that being a reality or not. But yeah, that's an interesting thing.
I also thought it was really cool that they kind of showed, because consistently they're making sure to remind us that Missy isn't actually someone we want to root for. And so having her just randomly turn on Clara and trying to get the Doctor to shoot her, that was just a fantastic master moment.
Yep. What did everyone think? Because this is, I think, the thing that I probably liked the least was the whole sewer nonsense.
I loved that. That was fantastic.
But so Daleks don't die now. Apparently, this is a thing. Has this always been a thing?
Not naturally, no. Apparently.
Sort of just.
They become poop.
No, it's a graveyard. It's like if you just, I don't know.
But where did their armor go?
Think of a human
where did their armor go?
That probably got reused when they.
That was part of it. Here's what I liked. I liked that the graveyard seemed not important at first, and then it ended up playing into the ending. I thought that was good construction.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like that, the idea that for some reason they were going to attack all the Daleks who are living already, because that doesn't make any sense.
They're angry and they want to live again, so they want to get in the suit. But they're already soup, so they can't really actually claim the suit. They can just kill the Dalek.
So they just kill the Dalek, but why? But I don't know. So they're I guess they're zombie Daleks.
What?
Yeah, it just, to me that doesn't make any sense with a Dalek. Why would a Dalek try to destroy another Dalek? To me, given the breeding of Daleks as they are, it makes more sense that a Dalek's okay, I'm old and useless, but this one can go on and kill people, so I should let that one live.
But they're full of hate. They just want to kill. They're stuck in a sewer. What else are they going to kill?
Yeah, but that's true. But they normally don't. They don't seem to want to kill their own. That's the thing. That's the thing that I have a hard time with. Though I have a feeling we have not seen the last of Time Lord hybrid Daleks.
No, probably
I don't.
not.
I'm not quite convinced that destroyed Skaro.
But also, what about Rusty? Rusty wanted to kill Daleks. Is Rusty not a Dalek now?
No, but he was the only one.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Oh, no. Here we go. Were there any other examples in the 7,000 episode history of the show that I may have accidentally forgotten?
Yes, actually. In episode 2, part 3 of section 9, the first Doctor and the third Doctor actually communicated the seventh Doctor telepathically to tell them that this particular Dalek would sneeze. And by sneezing, it accidentally fired his gun and killed the Dalek. So yes, there has.
Oh, okay.
Then,
well, aside from that, which Jinxie just totally put out of his ass, that to me just didn't make much sense. I guess it makes sense in terms of, I guess it makes sense if you're thinking in terms of zombies or humans, because that's a very common undead
I like that.
theme. To me, I guess if you think of it in terms of zombie Daleks, that makes sense. But it does not make sense to me. Yeah, but it just, I don't know, it didn't make sense to me. I didn't get the initial jump when they were when she had the Dalek goo kill the other Dalek. I was just that didn't make any sense to me. And then for them to use, to try to use that same idea again later, it didn't make any sense to me the second time. And on the second time, it was on such a much bigger scale.
I guess they set up the premise of the Dalek goo, I hate that word, trying to attack the Dalek initially, and I think that's through that setting off that's what built the big one. So if you inherently hated the first little concept, then you would inherently hate the second one too.
Yeah, well, Okay, not necessarily, because what I originally thought is they were just like, oh, this has brought the other Daleks to life, and it's just making an earthquake. Which, if that's as far as they took it, I think I would have been slightly more okay with it.
The Daleks can fly.
Because but the goo, how does the goo fly?
The goo can't. The suits can.
Magical.
No,
goo.
but I don't know. I don't know. That part, like I said, I didn't think it was a great resolution for...
I think it was all worth it because we got to hear the Doctor say to the Supreme Dalek that your sewers are revolting. Get it? Get it? Huh? Anyone?
Wait,
revolting?
I don't. Can
like,
you explain it to me?
Like revolting. No, I know.
No, yeah, I know.
It means gross too.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a British thing? That's
a British
thing, right? It
doesn't mean that.
It must be a British colloquialism. I think
it's actually Welsh, but I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, but yeah. I just didn't. Yeah, I thought that was a little weird. And yeah, I mean, yes, if I don't like the initial concept, but I feel like they didn't sell it with the initial concept. I feel like Missy was just like, oh, this goo's gonna attack this Dalek because. And I'm still not entirely sure what Missy's play here was. That to me is also uncertain.
What do you mean?
Like what she was trying to get out of this.
To make sure that
I think she was trying to save the Doctor.
Yeah.
Like, they're friends.
But
ish.
Okay, but like that's fine. So but then why try to kill Clara?
Well, she's always trying to kill Clara.
No, I know, but
she's a puppy.
Yeah.
She's a plaything. She's not a Time Lord. Why does she matter?
Yeah, I guess so. But I don't know. I think you're right, Jinxie, that I think they do have to be very careful with her. And a lot are the people who have been acting with her have said the same thing, that like it's really hard because she's just so good at being Missy that it's hard to remember that she's supposed to be a bad guy. Mm-hmm. And I think you're right that that's why they had to have that switch with her with Claire at the end. But I don't even know why, like, to me, I don't think there was a need to put her in the suit to begin with.
That's how they got Missy back up.
No, I know that's how they got Missy back up, but then she tried to turn Clara back into them. I thought Missy's stuff was just a little jarbled, but I guess she is also batshit crazy.
Bananas.
Or bananas.
No, it made sense. I don't...
Because of 10.
I forgot exactly.
Because of what?
10 used to carry around a banana. Is that what you're referencing?
Oh, no, but that sounds delicious.
Oh.
Tenet, not the banana.
Tenet's delicious?
Yeah.
I agree.
Nah, Capaldi's where it's at.
You like the eyebrows?
No.
You want to chew on them eyebrows?
No, gross.
That's a Parks and Rec quote.
Gross.
Off tangent.
Everyone knows.
We've gotten another.
Everyone knows that my favorite person has always been and will always be the girl who waited. And then the show is actually Amy Pond's show that the Doctor just randomly like interrupts it every once in a while.
I didn't really like Amy that much as a companion though.
She had red hair. That's why he liked her.
Amy was
she
best
was
companion
abusive.
ever.
But she was hot.
Best companion ever.
Oh,
Why do you like Tenet? Why do you like Tenet?
Because he's awesome and attractive.
Yeah.
All on
okay.
He's both. He was super like deep for the Doctor.
I still think Eccleston is.
Eccleston was dark.
Yeah, Eccleston was great, and I wish Eccleston had been around for more than one season.
I loved Eccleston too. And when they first switched to Tennant, I was like, who's this pretty boy Doctor?
See, exactly. My point exactly.
And then he put his glasses on, and I was okay with it.
That's what Willie said about this Doctor. Oh, who is this Capaldi? Who is this pretty Doctor?
Yeah, who's this pretty boy? Who's this pretty boy Doctor? Man, he came in on a T-Rex, too. That was pretty baller.
Mm-hmm. Well, Matt Smith sort of did.
He didn't come in on a T-Rex.
No, he didn't, but he had a T-Rex that he rode on. Or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Triceratops? I can't remember which one he did.
Yeah. But yeah. So I don't know. I didn't think it was a horribly great resolution, but I seem to be in the minority on that, and that's okay.
I'm curious
what
they're going to do with that, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. I'm curious because if we look at last season, I believe Missy was introduced in like the first episode, wasn't she?
Mhm. Yeah, when she was like,
so like the weird voice.
Yeah. So we had some idea of like what this season, or what last season was going to be about from the get-go. And I don't know. I feel like there haven't been any huge threads yet for what this season's really going to be about. That we know of. I mean, we did have Missy mention that she had a daughter. Did you catch that, Jinxie?
Mm-hmm. Did I catch that?
Did you catch? I'm just making
sure. Only
sure.
on the fifth time that I rewatched the episode.
Oh yeah, I figured. So there's definitely something there, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, we're supposed to get
Macy Williams too.
Yeah, Macy Williams as somebody.
And she's in a couple episodes.
And River Song's gonna come back.
River Song's gonna come back, yeah. And it sounds, I don't know. I'm guessing River Song is gonna have something to do with Missy. I'm guessing they're gonna.
I would love to see them interact. That would be great.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're gonna come back in some way.
But I also, though, we did get to see Davros and the Master interact, which was fantastic, might I say. It's a real treat.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that the Doctor and Davros stuff just kind of took up too much of this episode and was just like, it was like two grumpy old men.
What? That's the whole point. They feed off
together.
No, I know, but it was just like, I don't know.
What do you think, Ryan?
I liked his doctor comment. Like, you're a bad doctor.
we have finally determined that you are not a good doctor.
I mean, I think that's, I don't know. I keep going back and forth on this, so I can't say for sure. I think my problem is that they spend most of the episode convincing you that he's not actually going to hurt the Doctor. And then when he does, you're just like, oh, well, of course he does, because he's Davros. And I think it almost actually would have been more interesting and surprising if Davros had just died and he didn't try to screw the Doctor over.
Davros doesn't die. He's just like the Master. But no.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you know what I mean?
He wasn't
like,
going to be good.
But they tried so hard. They tried so hard to sell that he actually is. His intentions actually are good, and that he actually is changed.
I don't think that at all.
I agree with you.
That they spent like this whole episode convincing you that like no, he has changed, like he is different, like
he just wants to see the sunset.
Yeah, he just wants to see the sunset.
He said that to Colony Starf when he walked in the room. Is like we now entrap a Time Lord. Like I felt like that set up the premise that he's just doing this all, or he could be doing this all as a trap. So I don't think we were ever.
I knew there was some.
No, I mean, and that's the thing. I think everyone knew that there was a trap and knew that he wasn't going to be good, but they just spend so much time trying to convince you of otherwise, even though you know that he's going to end up being bad.
But
that's the thing.
Here's my philosophical question: what makes him bad? If he still can be talking from the heart that entire time, which sounds like he could very well be, because of all the things he said and all the premises that he talked about were things I think he belief. That doesn't make him bad. That just makes him different than the Doctor and evil in our sense.
I mean, I think he essentially said like, "Haha, Doctor, I've been playing you this whole time." Did he not?
And then the Doctor said the same thing, which is kind of what they usually do to each other.
Yeah, they just kind of sit there and mind.
But that doesn't mean that they can't both be sincere too.
I guess I probably would quantify like stealing someone's lifeblood as pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, he does want to destroy the world.
But from his standpoint and his tribalism view that it was instilled on his planet through thousands of years of war, that seems perfectly logical to him. He's like, oh, I'm the superior race.
No.
But he has had thousands of years to learn better.
And he hasn't learned anything.
No, he doesn't necessarily have thousands of years.
But
he's probably been dead.
Also, but also my other thing to that is that the existence of his race does not necessarily dictate that he has to destroy all the other races. He purposely created a race that wanted to destroy everything else.
Everything on the planet. Yes, they want to be the supreme life form because that's victory in war, is being the supreme life form.
Okay, but so he became the supreme life form on the planet, and then he could just stop. There was no other threat to him on the planet anymore once the Daleks
He doesn't have control of the Daleks, and he even said so. He said, I gave the Daleks life. I do not control them. That's why he has such a defense mechanism in his chairs, because the Daleks have actually tried to kill him multiple times.
I mean, but it sounds like he kind of controls them through the little pipework thing.
Because of their one weakness, which is whatever it was. I can't remember what he said.
Love for him.
That love for him.
It wasn't
which
love.
Was
it was
pity for him.
pity for him. Pity for their father.
Pity for their father or something. Respect, honor,
something
or something.
Like that. Respect,
pride, yeah,
something
like
pride.
that.
I don't know. Throw a random emotion here. That's probably what it was. But
that got deep.
Yeah. Well, deep for Doctor Who, I guess. But any I don't know. Did you have anyone else have any other bright thoughts?
I've got a few
or not
things to list.
Not bright thoughts. Yeah. What do you got?
I'll leave the floor to Ryane if she wants.
I don't have anything.
Okay. Well, let's see. Scratch off the squirrels. Oh, scratch. There we go. On to my next point. I liked the fact that Missy said like, "Oh, Davos is your arch enemy now. Scratch his eye out," and then she actually did in this episode. That was fun. Or poked it, but as scratchy as you can really get. Did you guys catch that? When she popped his eye and boop, and then ran away.
Yeah, I remember her doing that. I just didn't tie it back mentally to the.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of funny. That it's like, "Oh, I'll scratch his eye on it," and she actually does.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So that was kind of funny. Scratch. Okay, how about this? I feel like because Doctor Who's in a later time slot now, they can actually swear. What do you guys think of the whole bitches statement?
Yeah, I forgot about that. I did realize that.
I like it.
I mean, yeah, I'm fine with Doctor Who swearing. I don't think it's.
It was very Missy, so.
I felt it was out of place, but no. Maybe it's because I've been watching a lot of old Who, and they are very, very proper. That might actually be.
Well, I mean, I think we actually briefly touched on this last week, Jinxie. You were saying how that like now the show is more popular in America than it even is in Britain. And
I guess it's getting popular in the United States. I'm not sure if that statement was
yeah. Or whatever. But so, and maybe I'm wrong about this, and maybe this is going to sound really weird, but I feel that Doctor Who, and even Sherlock, they feel that they need to be these cultural ambassadors for Britain, and that like every episode needs to be over the head British. Like you need to know, like you can't confuse this with American television. You need to know this was made in Britain. And I think that's because it's like the BBC.
The Scott running around waving Sonic sunglasses isn't?
No. But I'm just saying. But I feel like that the shows has shifted, especially the last few seasons, into more of a global show. And I think that maybe the swearing is kind of a part of that. They feel they can get away with it now because it's not strictly just a show for Britain anymore. That would be my thought, is that they've realized that this is not just a show. It does not this show is not speaking on behalf of the British people everywhere. And that they can do more with it than I think that maybe they've felt locked behind that in the past. I don't know. That would be my thought to the swearing thing. But it definitely, the last season, like they said that it was going to be really dark and scary, and I didn't think it was comparatively to some of the stuff we've seen in the past. So I don't know. I don't know what their thoughts are in terms of keeping it with the like more child-y roots the show had, and to like the serious thing it's become.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm okay with it. Like, if Amy wanted to come back and swear and run around naked, I'd be okay.
I feel like one of those is more important than the other for you.
Yeah, swearing.
Yeah,
definitely.
Swearing.
Definitely the swearing.
Ryane, can you smack him for me? Because I'm not in the room to do it.
Don't. You're going to mess up the mic. Oh. But yeah, I mean, we could, I don't know, we could be seeing a new companion soon. I'm still voting for that would have been an epic way for Clara to go out.
It would have been epic. It would have been surprising, and it would have been tragic.
Yeah.
I felt like a lot of people were making comparisons to Oswin Oswald from the Dalek Asylum. And like, oh, this is what might have led to that, and
oh yeah, that might have been what I was thinking of. Yeah, hasn't Clara been in a Dalek before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Souffle Girl.
Yeah, as Souffle Girl. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, no, it's.
So this was. Yeah, this is a thing. She's been inside. Hopefully, she's been inside more Daleks than have been in her. But
wow. Wow. That goop really did. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah, what did you think that the sewers were really filled with? Like, Missy tried to sugarcoat it, but it wasn't what you thought.
I'm gonna be sick.
Yeah.
Excuse me, can we pause for a moment? I'm gonna be.
Yeah, don't.
Be right back. Okay.
Don't go throw up. Don't go throw up.
Okay.
But...
No. Anyway, shall we go on to another one, or since it's...
Yeah. You got something? Yeah. What else you got?
So I've got two last things that I haven't talked about before we get on to the next episode discussion.
Okay.
But I like the whole mis-explanation of yelling "exterminate" was like their form of reloading, because that kind of finally makes sense why they always yell "exterminate" and like shooting everything.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, like I said, we did get a really really cool insight into what it might be like to be a Dalek. Like I think is actually probably the most interesting idea within the episode, that it could have played with a lot more. Like even like having, because they said that like emotion and stuff fired the gun, so like, or even having Clara accidentally like shoot the doctor in the foot or something when she was trying to like communicate with him. But I'm just saying, like there's a lot of interesting ideas there, and I don't think we've seen the last of that as an idea either, but that's definitely a very interesting idea, that the Daleks could be trying to communicate some other way and aren't necessarily doing it on purpose. I don't think that's true, but I think that's an interesting little seed of doubt to plant in viewers' minds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. That was a really cool look. I was definitely feeling new things about the Daleks, like
feeling new feels.
Yeah, just about how like frustrating that must be to be completely trapped inside your own like casing, not wanting to not being able to express the things you want to because you're just being completely censored. And yeah, I think that most of them over enough time would completely just devolve into pure anger, which I guess is the point.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if
is there more variation among Daleks than
not
we think?
Not necessarily that, but if they're born like that, if they're born grumpy, or if they become grumpy because they can't talk.
Well, I mean, they are born grumpy because that's the whole point, was they're genetically modified to remove a lot of that. Even though when we went into the Dalek, you saw that it was more of the physical manifestation of the casing, because they went into the memory banks and changed all that stuff off, which is really weird conceptually because it kind of contradicts itself.
Wait, Doctor Who contradicts itself? That never happened.
No, I just mean in terms of keeping monsters consistent, they're usually okay with that. I just feel like for the Daleks, now we have 3 different ways, like genetically modified. Now we have the suit itself controls language, and then we also have the memory banks being repressed in the physical form of the Dalek. I thought it was very strange.
Yeah, it is an interesting. The Dalek, they definitely have made the Daleks more interesting and more dimensional than they usually are. At least. So on that, I guess that's a success.
Yeah. Should I list my one last thing on my list?
Yeah, fire it off. What do you got left?
So we talked about special weapons Daleks last week, right?
Yeah, the colored ones.
Yeah,
yep.
Or the ones with a big ass gun on it in the front.
Yeah.
But so something that struck me or tickled me weird this episode, it kind of clicked for me. They said that they rebuilt Skaro. Why are there old Daleks there? Do they rebuild old Daleks and then decide, oh wait, no, these new Daleks were actually a good idea?
What do you mean?
Why were there old Daleks on a rebuilt Skaro?
Well, aren't the old Daleks still floating around somewhere? Like maybe they came home to the new home.
Come home, Shadow.
Yeah,
how
many
times has he killed all of the Daleks?
Too many.
Never, all of them. Clearly.
Well,
most of the Daleks.
Yeah. He's exterminated most of the Daleks. A lot. He never quite gets them all, though.
That was actually one of the funny points in the Davros Doctor banter. Is just like he's like, you've killed billions of my children, I've killed billions of your kind. I feel like our normal conversation tropes are not are null and
working
void
right now.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, is there any? Not a list. I mean, I guess there's really no way to tell. Is the colored Daleks, is that like a title or is it a specific one? Like, could there just have been a new like Commander Dalek that was put in charge?
Well, the red one's in charge, right?
No, but that's what I'm saying.
he's
Like,
the
it may not have
Supreme
been. It's Supreme Dalek. Sorry, Supreme.
We've also seen the Emperor Dalek, which was one that got blown up and disintegrated by
the Emperor
Rose
Dalek.
and Bad Wolf.
Yep. Okay,
And,
so anyways, so the Supreme Dalek, the Doritos Locos Tocos Supreme Dalek.
You should like it then. It's Doritos.
Yeah. Well, no. But so I'm saying, is that a title, or is he this like maybe he's not the same Supreme Dalek we saw before? Maybe it's just like an operating title.
I think it's an operating title. Don't quote me on
so
that.
that might. Yeah. So, but that might explain why we've seen some of these Daleks around again, because it's not necessarily.
It's kind of like a commander title. Like you think commander, lieutenant.
So that might be the whole thing with rebuilding Skaro. Maybe these aren't the same Daleks that were gone before. Maybe it's just new Daleks rising to that position. I guess we don't really have any way of knowing, but
no, I think the only four like unique Daleks that we've ever seen besides the Emperor were the Cult of Skaro. I think those are the only four. The rest are nameless.
Yeah. We haven't seen them for a long time, have we?
Maybe they're not nameless because their names just got changed to Dalek through their translation.
Yeah, that's also true. Maybe. Oh shit. Oh,
my name
snap.
is Ezekiel.
So maybe the Daleks. I think that's how the show's gonna end. The final episode of Doctor Who is gonna be that the Daleks were the good guys all along, and that
you
the
just
Doctor
always want the Doctor to be
Dick
bad.
Doctor theory. Yep.
Well,
yeah.
Dick Doctor. God, that's so
I'm not.
many
that has so many big content. I'm not necessarily saying that I think the Doctor will end up turning out to be evil in the end, as much as maybe the Daleks have turned out to be good and misunderstood, and maybe the Doctor shouldn't have been trying to kill them.
I don't think that's possible.
It's all just one big 50-long metaphor for communicating better. What is lost in translation? It's actually all about like the American Revolution and how Britain should have the colonies back. I'm pretty sure that's actually
Conquest through Doctor.
Yeah, Conquest through Doctor.
No, I don't think they're good, especially because when which one was it? Dalek Khan or Dalek Sec? I think it was Dalek Sec. Like came out of the suit after engulfing that one random businessman.
Mm.
He was still pretty much like he could communicate fine, walk around, bipedal, whatever it is, and he was still pretty jackassy.
Yeah,
so.
That's true. Yeah. But yeah, I'm curious now too if this is all we're gonna see of the Daleks this season, or because I feel like they weren't around that much last season, and I feel like they've been trying to use them more carefully. And so I'm curious if they're using them out of the gate this season to kind of get them out of the way, and now we're going to see other stuff.
Oh, well, we saw a little bit of next week's monster.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, which looks interesting.
Look scary. Dislike.
What did you think, Jinxie?
Yeah, they look kind of scary.
I mean, they look kind of like the library things, I thought.
Vashta Narada.
Yeah.
How?
I didn't think that, because...
They're like living shadows.
Yeah.
And these were like floating ghosts.
Yeah, but the Vashta Narada is just like darkness. They don't actually have a form. They were just taking over people's like skeletons.
Yeah.
But that wasn't their form.
I didn't say they looked physically similar.
Yes, you did.
No. I didn't say. I said they look like it looks like a similar idea. Like I didn't say they physically looked the same.
I don't know about that.
I just thought they reminded me of the blah 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 Narada.
I'm interested in them because they seem to be able to have some physical manifestations, so like carrying around objects and shit, but still going through walls. So it's like phase changing.
I like
so
that they drop the objects when they hit a wall.
Yeah. Well, and the thing I'm excited about is it's a new race, and I have said this for a while that I feel like in the beginning of his reign, Moffat kind of made this a monster show, and then I feel like the last few seasons he's kind of lost that. So I'm always excited for new races and new monsters.
Well, when you have two-parters, it doesn't turn the show into a monster of the week type of thing.
That's true. Yeah, that's also true too. But yeah, it should be interesting. I don't know. I don't remember. Did you see the title of it, Jinxie? I don't think I did. I don't remember if there was
I forgot it.
I don't know. Well, we'll find it.
Did Moffat write it? Do you know?
That I don't know. I'd have to look.
Because if he did, Moffat monsters are scary.
It's the Moffat mash. Let's do the Moffat
I want
mash.
to say he did, but hold on.
I'd have to double check.
Because I'm scared and excited. Wahaha.
I'm really hoping I don't hit some spoilers with this. This would suck.
Yeah, I hit some spoilers for this week's
that's
episode before I watched it. I should have known better. I shouldn't have gone on Tumblr.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
Can't do
What?
Rookie mistake. The new episode's on YouTube already?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. But,
yeah, no, it'll be interesting,
cool.
especially because they're like underwater again, which was.
Yeah, what very.
Oh yeah, it looked. Okay. So it looked really similar. The whole station underwater just reminded me so much of the water of Mars, which works really well to bring up since they found water on Mars today. And I just wanted to be like, didn't you guys see Doctor Who? Like, this is gonna end badly.
Well, we were talking about that with the blood moon too. How the moon's gonna blow up.
Oh yeah.
It's not gonna blow up. It's gonna hatch.
It's gonna hatch.
Yeah.
God, Willie, you can't get anything right.
Oh,
You even liked that episode.
I did like that episode. I did like the moon. I did like the hatching moon.
It's disgusting.
But
So
yeah,
weird.
get over it, guys.
No,
but
I'm not.
The internet agrees with us.
No, that's
Yes, it
fine.
does.
The internet also thinks that the internet agrees on lots of things that aren't right. But
you can't think of any of them right now.
I just don't want to start anything. So
in the comment thread.
yeah. But yeah, any other thoughts on this week? Anything else?
Yeah.
No, though it did sound like, who was it that kind of said squee in this episode?
Missy.
Missy kind of.
When
the
Dalek in the sewer exploded, she was like,
Oh, yeah, someone else said it. I didn't have to. Thank you.
But
welcome.
Cool. Well, thank you guys. Thank you everyone for listening, and we'll be back next week to talk about the Vesta Narada.
Or something.
Or Willie's reflection.
Cool. Or Willie's reflections. Cool. Have a good week, everyone. See you guys later.